Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, as you can see by the title of the video and the thumbnail, I'm a Guardians fan, and we're going to be talking about the Cleveland Guardians and the start of the season they've had so far in 2024. I'm not going to lie, it's looking pretty good for them this year. At the time of recording this, they're about 20-11. A couple of days ago, the record they were having, they said was on pace with some of the best records a Cleveland baseball team back whenever they were in the Indians is on pace with being one of the best records this Cleveland baseball team has ever had, going all the way back to like the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. And when you put it in that kind of reference, it sounds pretty good. Like, this team is on a historic pace. They look good. Now, here a couple of days ago, they've had a couple of games, especially against the Braves, the Astros, some top tier teams. They've been struggling a little bit, but I think they are still going to get bounced back. But what I want to do in this video is I kind of want to talk about the Guardians in general, and just talk about how far this team can go this season from my POV of a Guardians fan, what I'm seeing out of the team, what I think this team is capable of doing, and how they kind of bounced back from last season. They let go of coach Francone. They went ahead and hired Voit, the new head coach or the new manager of the Guardians, and he's looking pretty good. He's getting this team kind of fired up. They're playing good. The bat's going. The defense is still there. The pitching is kind of heating up a little bit here as of late. All in all, the team's kind of coming together pretty well. Now, how they kind of look in the summer as we go towards the summer, the fall, that remains to be seen. But like I said, I kind of want to break down the team, just talk about some of the players they've added, some of the players maybe they lost, and just kind of how this group looks kind of in full of how everybody's playing, the positions, is everybody in the right spots they should be, how are the bats looking, and how are the pitching is looking. Like I said, just kind of break down the whole team. So without further ado, if you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on this video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first things first, like I said, talking about the Guardians at the time of recording this, it is currently May 3rd. As of May 3rd, 2024, the Cleveland Guardians are 20-11 at this time, only one game back. Like I said, they played the Braves a couple days ago, like I said. They lost 2 games out of the 3-game series in that series. They should have won a third one, or won a second one, I'm not gonna lie. They kind of choked the game. But the fact that we're sitting here looking at the Cleveland Guardians, the Guardians, talking about them being 20-11 up there with the top of the teams in the MLB, and we're already like a fifth of the way through the season. Usually at this point in the season, we're used to the Guardians being like down here, like where the Reds, the Nationals, the Padres, and the Blue Jays, and the Giants are. Down here like 15-17, 16-16, like middle of the pack, maybe a little bit under, I'm not gonna lie. When you look at the division, they're 1.5 games up in the division. The Royals are actually looking pretty good this year. Everybody thought the Twins were gonna be the team. Now they are only a couple of games back, so they can still bounce back in this division. But so far, the Guardians have a nice little lead. They're playing well. They got the bats going. Like I said, bats, pitching, management, everything is going for the Guardians so far. Now, when you look at the team just in general, let's look at some of the stats. Looking at the batting average, Steven Kwan leading the team with a 349. Do you remember, people, if you bat a 250 in the MLB, that's already being like one of the best players in the league. If you bat 300, oh, you're looking at like being one of the greatest players in the league. He's batting 350. Josh Naylor, we expect to have the home runs. He's got 7 home runs. Jose Ramirez, I believe, is right behind him. Yeah, right there. He's about 5 home runs. Steven Kwan, like I said, on base percentage, 396. He's got 45 hits. This dude, and he is our leadoff hitter, so he is going to be capable of just going out there and constantly getting on base. So far through the early part of the season, like I said, through 31 games, they are looking pretty good. Batting average, or home runs wise, the team that they said last season, or going into the offseason, they wanted to get better with the bats. They wanted to get guys hitting the ball further. They wanted to get some power guys into the team. Bo Naylor seems like he can maybe develop into that. Josh Naylor's little brother, he seems like he could be that. Jose and Josh are only 2 guys that are on the team that can really hit far. David Fry looks like he can hit far. Florial looks like he can do it. Laureano seems like he's got a big power bat to him. It's just everybody else. They're more contact guys. They're going to get on base. They're going to just keep running the bases. They're fast. They're speedy. They're agile. They're going to play great defense, and they're going to get on base. It's kind of what they're trying to do. One thing's for damn sure, it doesn't matter what position you play, or how fast or how slow you are going to steal a base. Every single person here has stolen a base. Now, I realize sometimes you could steal a base just by a wild pitch, but Jose Ramirez, he's a big boy, and he's stolen 4 bases. Josh Naylor, I'm pretty sure, is the biggest guy on the team. He's stealing bases. Now, like I said, whenever it comes to the power guys, like I said, they don't look incredible when it comes to the power. Josh Naylor and Jose, they're still hitting their home runs. I feel like there is times where it's like you don't really always need the home runs. With our team, just making contact, the bloops, the drops, getting guys, just get the ball and play. That's the big thing. Because so many times, even last year was a big problem. Even the year before, whenever we went to the playoffs, the problem with our team was we could get a guy on base, 2 guys on base, 3 guys on base, and we leave them stranded out there. The thing we wanted to work on was when you get bases loaded, hell, even 2 guys on base, guys at the corners, whatever it may be, drive somebody in. You don't have to swing for the fences and go get a grand slam. We're not asking you to try and whack the ball to the deep gap and try to get a bases clear and double. if you just get a single, drop it in the middle of this outfield, and the outfielder gets it, and only one guy comes around, so be it. It's a run. A run could win the game sometimes. Let's move over to pitching. Pitching is a weird one this year. We had Shane Bieber. He was supposed to be our ace. He did go down for the season. I forget exactly what the injury was. He had 2 games in the early part of the season, back in April, or back in March, correction. And he had 2 games. He won both games. He was pitching really well. As you can see right here, he had 20 strikeouts in those 2 starts, and it hurts to see the fact that he went down. Because if he doesn't go down, he could have been just a perfect ace for our team. He would have been shutting every batter down, and it would have been almost, in a way, I guess you could say, a guaranteed win when he starts. So far, Logan Allen, Tanner Bybee, Tristan McKenzie, and Carlos Carrasco, I think is how you say the name. They've all been kind of starting so far. They've looked pretty good. We had a couple other guys, like I said, kind of starting. They're looking good so far. Logan Allen is like the stud so far. Tanner Bybee, he's like very up and down. Because when you look at it, it's like 6 games he went out there and started, but he's only 2-0. So it's like his games that he's going into, a lot of times he's leaving with like the game kind of score or tied, or sometimes it's only like 1-run lead, and then the second he leaves, it just gets out of hand. Tristan McKenzie's not looking too good this year, I'm not gonna lie. Some people are gonna come at me and be like, are you not watching the fucking games? I'm sorry, I do watch the games, and Tristan McKenzie's not looking that good right now. This man used to be like the Slim Reaper, the strikeout expert. 24 strikeouts is not looking too good. I mean, it's like you played the same amount of games as Bybee, and you got 11 less strikeouts. Our closer, Clase, he's doing good this year. He could be better, I'm not gonna lie. There is some games where it's like I watched him pitch, and it's like, what the fuck you doing? I think here a few days ago, he let up, I think in the bottom of the 9th or bottom of the 10th, whatever it was, he let up a game-winning hit. And I believe we had a 1-run lead, and he ended up just letting the guy come up to the bat plate, whacked it down the left side, and I think it was the left side, and the other team won. Now, when it comes to our bullpen, like I said, Clase, he's still a good save pitcher. I'm not saying get rid of him by any means, but when it comes to our bullpen is a little bit weak right now. 2 years ago, our bullpen was like the stud of the lineup. They were the best thing in the league. Now it's like they're still good. I feel like some people are going to try to correct me and be like, what do you mean? I hear some stats. They are like one of the best pitchers in the league whenever it comes to like maybe ERA, whip, whatever maybe whenever it comes to the bullpen. But when I look at them, they're not that good. And I'm talking about just watching on the TV. They're not that good. Like, do they get you out of trouble sometimes? They do. I will agree on that. But there is some times where it's like the game will be tied and they just go out there and just like lit up. The pitcher could go out there and say the score was like 3-1 and Guardians are leading, and the starter comes out after the 6th inning, 7th inning, relief pitcher goes in, and they just fuck it up. Most of our losses, of the 11 losses, have been because of that. And very briefly, whenever you look at the fielding, everybody's playing good. Quan, one of the best players in the league whenever it comes to defense. Jimenez, he's been like one of the best players. He's had a few hiccups the past like 3 or 4 days. He needs to kind of get that figured out. I'm sure he will. But everybody else looks good. I realize some of these players down here at the bottom, don't pay attention to them. I'll go ahead and just do it like this, so you can kind of see better with the stats. The players that do start, they're playing good. You look at the stats, they're doing everything right. I mean, when you look at the fielding percentage, there's not really many hiccups with any of the players. Nothing really to eye catch. But the very last thing I want to talk about, like I said, is management. When you look at Stephen Vogt and what he kind of brings to the team, I said it in my video whenever he was hired. I said he's going to bring a tenacity and just like an intensity that he's going to basically come into this guy's locker room and just fire them up, and he's gonna say, hey, I understand what you guys had the past couple years. You guys have had your fun. You guys have won. Yes, you've won in the playoffs. You got into the divisional round. You've done great things, but have you gotten the whole way? He looks at the team and he says, okay, your pitching is really good, but are you great? Hey, your defense is one of the best in the league, but are you the best in the league? Hey, your hitting is really good. You guys can get on base. You guys can run the bases, but can you get knocks? Can you go out there and win a game with like 8, 9, 10 runs on the board? Now, I will say we are getting about 8 to 10 runs on the board here lately, but we're losing those games. It's just with Stephen Vogt, he seems like the kind of guy where it's like he's not going to take your bullshit. If you mess up out there, you make an error, you get picked off on a base run, and like you get picked off at first base, he's going to grill your ass. And it seems like so far the guys, they like that. They like that he cares and he wants you to get better. If you get picked off, he's going to cuss you out, but he's doing it out of love to where like, bro, you are better than this. Don't be fucking stupid. Get back out there and go steal the base this time, actually. Plus, also, I feel like when you watch him, he's like actually like coaching the team as the game goes along. With Tito, it seems like Tito, I feel like realistically, he was at the end of retirement last season. He was kind of just going on a farewell tour. He didn't really, I don't think, cared that much. I'm not going to lie. So whenever you watch him coach, he was just kind of staying there a lot of the time. He was staying there. His assistants were kind of doing the work. When you look at Stephen Vogt, he's up there. He's talking. He's trying to talk to his pitching coach, batting coach. He's trying to talk to the players. If they come in the dugout and they made a mistake, he's over there trying to talk to them, be like, hey, what'd you see? What's going on? How can I help? I will say this. I do think he was the perfect hire, and I'm excited for the future with him. But ultimately, to kind of wrap it up, here's my final points. Like I said, pitching, it can get better. The hitting, it needs to get better. Now, how far this team can go, I do think this team's going to the playoffs this season, unless they have just an epic catastrophe and they just like go into like this well below average hitting, fielding, pitching a spree throughout the entire summer, and they just fall apart. That's the only reason they may making it. As long as they just stay on pace, stay around 500, above 500 actually, and just keep going, keep winning, you're gonna be good. Because with the way the AL Central is, you kind of understand it. The Twins, the White Sox are trash right now. The Twins are not looking too good. The Royals are there, but like the Guardians, they seem like they have a good lead right now whenever it comes to the division. And everybody, it's gonna be like just a race to the finish at all times. Never in my life have I seen this division won back in like early September. It's always well towards the end of September and even October before the division is won. But I do think this division can be won by the Guardians. Now, are they going to win a playoff series? Yes, I think they can win a playoff series. It's probably going to be a wild card series because they are probably going to have to play in the wild card round. Unless they just go out there and just wreak havoc and they actually have a very damn good record, like they could be better. The AL East right now is between like the Yankees and the Orioles. We'll see how that one goes. And I don't even know what's going to happen in the AL West if the Astros are going to catch back up and get up in there. If they can get to the divisional round, they could very well go back to the ALCS. It might be a hot take, but what am I going to say? I'm a Guardians fan. I'm going to root for my squad. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you think the Guardians are going to go far in the playoffs? Not going to go far in the playoffs? If you are a Guardians fan and you want to leave your complete opinion about how you think the Guardians are doing right now, down in the comment section down below. I'll be more than welcome to talk about with you guys and just kind of chit chat with you. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.